Welcome to Vintage Radio Cafe, your number one channel for relaxing vintage audio restoration. If you like watching an idiot wielding a soldering iron, you've come to the right place. Watch Ray's attempts to fix wonderful forgotten radios from another era, way before transistors. Sometimes he even gets them working again. What could go wrong, right?
Okay, folks, so welcome back. I'll try to make this one short. It's a final episode again. And yeah, I have completed the restoration of the Telefunken Sonata. It took me a very, very long time. I mean, the recapping was hard, but they're always hard. Cleaning was really intensive. It was really dirty, but it's not the first radio I do that's this dirty. What was really hard though, aside from changing 34 caps, 8 vacuum tubes, and restuffing the main filter cap and the rectifier, aside from that, I had problems with the AM. You saw the videos, you know what I'm talking about. The IF can, I'm sure, that the chassis was removed by grabbing that can. And when I first started, inspecting this radio, I was encouraged because none of the caps had been changed. They all looked original. So I figured, okay, great. I'm going to start working, on an old but fresh chassis. Nothing had been done on it. But also, if you recall, the buyers were not really comfortable with the seller. They thought he wasn't honest, and he was just saying that he got the radio and he started working on it, he started cleaning it, but he didn't have any time to work on it anymore. Yeah, I know that he was inside because that can, I shown you the pictures. One of the screws was so badly bent out of shape. I mean, you try with a pair of pliers to bend a screw, not even half an inch tall. Try to bend that, it's made of steel. So I'm pretty sure he grabbed it. Also, the damage here, remember that? There's a rod there that was inserted there. And the vellum paper rods holder there, one was completely pulled out. And I tried to rebend this, to put it straight, to go back in the hole and rebend it after. It's copper. It's so hard. It demanded so much force. I mean, the more I think about it, the more I'm convinced it was grabbed by the can and by the front, whatever he could, the person that did it. Maybe it wasn't the seller, maybe it was somebody else before him. But somebody grabbed it from whatever they could find, and it's all on the same side. It's all here, and the can, if you can imagine it in the back, well, it's this screw that was on this side. So everything here was damaged. But there's no evidence of this cabinet taking a spill at any time. There was a piece of couple of pieces of veneer to re-glue, but that's normal. It's the way it's been grabbed when it was moved. If I grab it like this, I'm probably gonna flake some veneer. So my point is, I'm only about 70 to 75% satisfied with this radio. Let me explain. I'm really satisfied. I'm happy with the record changer, because it was the first experience for me. I didn't know how it worked, and I got it to work. I think it's perfect now. And with the new sapphire needle that the seller bought and I installed, it sounds really great for what it is. It's really crude technology. When you work on it, you realize it's not a modern turntable, but still there's a lot of mechanism that do a lot of stuff, going automatically over the record, and then stopping automatically, removing itself and resting. That's really, for the time, it's really impressive. And that's the part I'm the most proud of. The part I'm the least proud of is trying to fix it. I'm saying trying because, hey, it works. Okay, it's got FM and it's got the record changer playing fairly well, but the radio still hums and there's no AM. And I got this radio a week before Christmas. Okay, and today, what is today's date? April 29. So that's over 4 months. Okay, in my defense, a little bit. I had to wait 3 weeks for the vacuum tubes and another 3 weeks for the idler wheel. So there's a month, there's 6 weeks there, a month and a half there. But still, the rest of the time, every day, I tried to find the issue. I thought that when I removed the top of the can and I changed that little capacitor, this one here, 2 microfarad, little cap there, and I had no choice. You know, every restorer will say, don't mess with the IF can, don't go play with those little transformers, and they're not joking. Okay, so for at least 2 months, 8 weeks, almost every day I was working on it, trying to find the issue, the cause. I couldn't find one single little Litz wire that was broken. I couldn't find anything that didn't have continuity, any resistors that weren't spot on their values. So if something is broken, it's most likely, most probably inside one of the tubes there where the lugs are for the AM, because the FM works. So it has to be something that's broken off inside of there. And again, it's protected by an aluminum can. How could it have been broken? And lastly, I can't fix what I can't see. If I don't see it, I'm not going to just solder everything up. Although I did underneath the chassis, I redid a few solder joints, but to no avail. So the buyers paid $60 for this radio. It's a massive radio. It was dirty, but it was still in good condition. When you buy a radio for so cheap, for $60, you got to think that there has to be a reason. And I'm pretty sure the seller knew that he messed around with it, and he was very, very rough with it. I remember when I first took the chassis out, it wasn't even in straight. There was half an inch of gap here between the cabinet and the plastic display. It was flush here. It was half an inch of a gap there. And again, all on the right side of the radio. So somebody went inside, grabbed it like that, grabbed it whatever they could, and the can, and pulled it out roughly, I'm telling you. It's one of the difficult parts, of restoring a radio, pulling out the chassis and putting it back again correctly. It's something you have to be very delicate, although they're always heavy. This one, although it's a small chassis compared to the other radios that I have, the German radios that are half this big, the chassis are wider and they're deeper, and there's just as many components, but on more space. Here, it was so tiny, so crammed up, I could barely change one single capacitor. That's why it took me so long. But let's have a listen, okay? Let's listen to the FM and to the record changer. I think it plays fairly good. You have to crank up a little bit the volume, a fairly good amount, of volume to overcome the hum. I don't like that. But also, I said this before, again, a bit to my defense, I think I have one or two radios that don't hum at all. With time, when they start to warm up, they don't, hear the hum that much, but most of them, 11 out of 12 or 13 radios are always humming a little bit. This one hums a lot, I admit. So, in conclusion, I said it before. I've said it many times. I don't like to fix radio for people. I'm not comfortable. At the same time, I like to be helpful. I like to share what I learn and to have the opportunity, to learn and to help people out. That's why most of the times I accept, restoring or just fixing a radio. But in reality, Richard paid $300 for the vacuum tubes alone. I'm not charging him for my time or for the other components or for the idler wheel. There's an amount of money there, okay? Because I'm too embarrassed to bring him back this radio in this state. It's going to work. Maybe he's not expecting much than what I'm going to be giving him back, but maybe his expectations were much higher and it's not going to be happy. But I did the best I could. Like I said before, I don't have any insurances. I cannot give guarantee. I fixed them, but I always tell them, I warn them before I start working on them. I'll do what I can, but if I can't fix it, I don't want to be responsible. And he accepted that. He said, no, you can't make it worse. So without further ado, let's just have a listen. And tomorrow, he wanted, Richard and his wife wanted to come here to pick up the radio. I said, no way, no way. First of all, you don't owe me a cent anymore, and I'm going to bring it back to you, okay? It's going to do me good to get out of the house. It was a long winter. I didn't get out much. I got a brand new car, and I don't even have 3,000 kilometers on it. Think of that. I only go out for groceries or, a little shopping around the little village here. So it's going to do me good. Going to visit his neck of the woods, bring the radio, and I hope it's going to be happy. But at least I know it looks good compared to what it was. I'm pretty happy of that. That's one of the parts I'm glad. But the performance of the radio, it could be so much better. I'm sure another Sonata, and I did try to find another one, or at least the IF can for weeks on end on Marketplace, Google in general, and eBay. I couldn't find one. 3 weeks ago, there was a guy that posted a chassis. Is it Hymus or Hymnus? Another Telefunken. The chassis alone, much bigger, and he wants $150 for it. It's way too much money, and I would not. I did not encourage Richard to buy that just for one component. First, second, I have headaches just thinking on how much work it would be to disconnect everything underneath. I'm telling you, I'm working in this little space, and there's maybe 10 components there, plus the base of a vacuum tube. There's no room to work there. When those were made in factory, the chassis was clear. They would solder everything. Then they would put the can there, do the last two soldering joints, most likely, for the pillars to hold it there, screw the can in, and it was done. 64 years after, when everything is installed around it, it's a nightmare. I'm telling you, it's a nightmare. I've never done anything so meticulous and so hard to do. But radio sort of works. So let's have a listen.
Mais le pire qui pourrait arriver, là, c'est l'indifférence. Si ça nous fait mal lorsqu'ils perdent, c'est parce que ça compte réellement. Et je me promène là, en trottinette électrique là, partout dans la ville.
J'avais 20 ans, pour les yeux d'une femme, un mot d'amour faisait battre mon cœur. Je vous croyais aussi toute fidèle que je voudrais